My husband and I lived at Lauderdale, as did my parents at the time, and most of the residences in that area were timber construction. And my parents only lived about half a kilometre away from where we were. And my husband and I used to, in many days, take my dad to work. He worked at the PMG workshops as supervisor, and that was in Sandy Bay Road and Hampton Road. And my husband worked in registry at the Army Barracks. I was a grade 6 teacher at Newtown Primary School. And our car would be the vehicle of transport. We'd drop Dad off at work and Alan at his place of work, and then I would travel on out to Newtown Primary. On the morning of Tuesday the 7th, we woke up to a very warm, breezy morning with a forecast for hot, dry winds and high fire danger. Anyway, by the time I got to school and settled down to work, I was oblivious to what was going on outside, but in the meantime, my husband Alan, being at the barracks, was able to get into G Branch, where there was a very large map depicting where the fires were and showing how rapidly they were moving. And by 11 o'clock that morning, it was obvious to him that our homes were at risk. So he notified the headmaster of the school, who was rather reluctant to let me go until a senior teacher intervened on my behalf, and she spoke up and said, "Look, you've got to let the girl go," because my mum was a cripple and had no means of transport out of that district herself. So I hastened away, carefully but quickly, and collected Alan and Dad, and then we proceeded to go home. Okay, until we reached the quarry just before the village of Rokeby, which it was then, just a small village, and there was a police roadblock, you might say. There were a few of us cars in the queue there, and he was stopping each one to find out the purpose of our continuing. And when he reached us, he questioned us in detail, and he said, "Well, okay, you can go, but I can't let the lady go." And I was very quick to inform him that I was just as capable as my dad and my husband, and also very fit. So without any further argument from him, he allowed us to proceed. As we came through Rokeby, there were lots of houses already on fire, and the heritage 2-storey post office was in flames. It was later had to be demolished, unfortunately. As we headed on up to the land area where we now have the police academy, there was a power pole across the road, and several of the men in the small convoy of cars, about 5 of them, hastened to raise that from the road so that we could proceed, and that's what we had to do. Reaching Lauderdale, it was very, very cloudy, but it was smoke, but no flames as yet. Dad home to Mum, and car back to our home, and very quickly put together some items that were important to us that we would need if we had to evacuate. So, well, we kind of did evacuate because our car wouldn't start again anyway. It had done a great job getting us there. And we had blankets, change of clothing, some important papers and a few photographs. And then headed for the beach. And we looked along towards where there was vehicular access, about half a kilometre away from us, maybe closer to a kilometre, I'm not sure. And there were a lot of people on the beach there, and some vehicles also. Animals as well. Our dog had been very happy to come along. He could pick up on the excitement of the day and thought this was all fun. Couldn't find our cats, they vanished somewhere at that point. Anyway, we went along the beach there and found Mum and Dad with their dog, and the dogs were just having a ball. There were also horses standing in the water. There was quite a crowd of people along there. Once the fire front had passed through, and we were able to get back to our properties and discovered them still standing or not, as Alan and I walked up over the sand dunes. To our relief, not only was our house still there, but so was our vehicle. Seemingly untouched. A shed in the backyard had been burnt, but that was all. We were really lucky. Everybody was on tank water. I didn't say that. Everybody was on tank water at the time, so we had no means of fighting a fire. That afternoon, later on, our brother-in-law was able to get through to find out how we were, and he took Alan to Surrey to check on his parents and sister and brother-in-law and our baby nephew. Everything was okay with them also, so weren't we all very lucky ourselves? And I remember thinking afterwards at the time, probably selfishly, how lucky that we had no young children and we didn't have to worry about them. But anyway, that evening, as we had no power either, we were able to use gas for cooking and candles, and being summertime it was at least light for a reasonable length of time. Next morning we prepared to go to our workplaces, and that's what we did. We headed off, but I had filled the boot of our vehicle with as many large plastic containers as we could gather, and so that I could fill them up with water to bring back home, because we were unable to use our pump to pump the water to our kitchen. So therefore, the other thing I had to do was take Alan's shirts and any clothing that was necessary to make clean that week, had to take with me to the workplace. And it was when one of my fellow teachers found me washing Alan's shirts in the hand basin in the ladies, said, "Margaret, you can't continue to do that. Friday, I want you to gather all your essential washing that needs doing and bring it to school with you. And Alan comes out, you both come to my home after school, and I'll cook you a lovely meal, you can have a shower, and we'll get all your washing done." Well, wasn't that marvellous? And I forgot to say the other good aspect of that week too, which is obviously the dog survived. He had so much fun along the beach with us. The cats were okay, and the white one came home rather grey looking, and the little black and white one was fine but quite cowed, and both of them found it difficult to be outside when there were strong winds blowing from then on. So it affected them too. But anyway, we didn't lose anybody or any living creature there.